Wait for what? No, I'm not doing it. Just agree with Riley. That's what I'm doing. Hey, don't worry, guys. We'll be starting in a minute. Just going to be waiting for a few more people to roll in.
Hello and welcome to Into the Mines. It's for season 6, round 1, and this is episode 1 of our little podcast that we have. And wow, we're looking forward to this one. I'm Will Kaye, joined in the little podcast room by my good friend Riley Murray, and unfortunately Eddie Oliver.
Hey, how's it going, Willie?
Love you, Muzza. Riley, Eddie.
G'day, everybody, and welcome back to the Into the Mines podcast. We're back here for the season 2 of it, but more importantly, season 6, round 1, episode 1 of the Into the Mines podcast. Joined by the gang, we're all back, we're ready to go. A bit of an iffy start, but we're going to be starting off the podcast this evening talking about the 2 games that have just passed previously during the week, during the early week and the later stages. The first game of the week it was the Bathurst Blue Tongues coming up against the Cairns Firehawks, and what a game it was. Some new faces really just lighting the park alive for the Blue Tongues, Riley.
Oh yeah, gotta love the Blue Tongues, eh? They're just all class, led by a great bloke, the captain, Mikey Borson's, gotta love him. They have a really nice mentor too, really good bloke, I reckon. And yeah, it was exactly how I expected it, just a Blue Tongues whitewash, really. Firehawks never really stood a chance, but you know, they gave it a good crack, and gotta respect them for that.
Yeah, no, the Firehawks missing some real key players in that lineup due to the departure. You know, Dylan Sharp Pete Ferretto, and also the other Sonny Sharp as well. They're one of the other Sharps have left, and they've lost a lot, and they're going to be looking to have some new just experience coming in to fill in those positions. Jasper Farwood, the lonely try scorer, and then a double for Rusty Shackelford, and then Slugger as well, the new winger who ran the length of the field effort. It was very surprising. I was not expecting that in the commentator's box, but well done there to him. Possession pretty much even. Errors, well, the Blue Tongues did lead errors, but they really just took their advantages. Moving on to the second game on the Thursday afternoon, it was the Melbourne Ravens against the Hamilton Swarm, are all the way over there in Auckland.
Hamilton.
In Hamilton, my apologies, in Auckland. At FMG Stadium, Waikato it was. And, well, your Melbourne Ravens, Kaye, they came away trumps.
Yeah, well, obviously you've done a lot of work with the Ravens as well, Eddie, but I'm very proud for the feeder club of the Storm to be doing so strong early on in the season. Trayvon Sakai, who had a pretty decent game, I thought, and he scored 14 points in the match, which is just a feat. Caleb Jeff led from the front, and obviously that man Devon, particularly good work from him. Scoring a double in the second row was not an easy feat, and he should be happy.
I'd say he's probably my favourite Eddie, in my opinion.
And the Hamilton Swarm as well. Sticks McGee and Dolan and Glover both getting tries for themselves. Ex-Swarm player. They had some good signs, the Swarm, especially the TR brothers. They're really looking to just become the beating heart of that Swarm side this season, all the way over there in Hamilton, across the ditch. And possession-wise, even again, errors and all of that stuff. And tackles, 140 tackles to both sides. Very surprising there. Moving on to the third game of the round, it was on that Friday evening, all the way over there at PNG National Football Stadium, the home of the Pacifica Stingrays. And at home, they came away with the win 18-12 against the Western Gunslingers. It was sort of even Stevens early in the game, but Riley, an unsung hero for the Gunslingers, and Christian Bocciaglippi.
Oh, I wouldn't say unsung. I'd say we're singing his praises all game. But yeah, only 30 minutes. He's kind of goated. I love the guy, and it's good to see he'll be getting some more minutes soon as well.
Yeah, no, he'll be getting some more minutes this week coming up. Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Kaye. You keep going.
I was just gonna say Bocciaglippi was very impressive. They've moved him into the lock position for this week coming. I think that's going to be a very dangerous move, and teams are going to be on their toes for this round coming up here.
Yeah, they definitely will be. But also, the Pacifica Stingrays coming out with the win. The dangerous Cox it was. Lachlan Cox, and we all love that name up in commentary. And then also,
Cox,
yeah, indeed, Maliaki, Riley said in the commentary box. And then also Harry Cheddar as well, the big forward coming away with the try. We love our big man crossing here. It was definitely very well done. And then Lockie Cashel, man the match. And also the star hooker of the competition at the moment, coming away from that first round. It was really well done. And that was the 3 games of the round. And moving on here this evening, we're going to be talking about the team of the week. And it is going to be the Melbourne Ravens, who did get that, just leading that scoring, 30 points to 18. What a scoring it was. And Riley, they really do deserve this.
Oh yeah, they do. They've just come out the gates and put on a huge score. It's actually very crazy. I'm very proud of Caleb and what he's done over there. He's really brought the side together, especially after they failed last season in the finals. But you can't really blame them because they were up against the best Mines team of all time.
They had a massive competition with Riley Murray's boys last season. That's going to be a memory for him, and he's going to be talking about it on and on here on the podcast here this season. And, Kaye, did that surprise you, that their performance on Monday?
Oh yeah, they came out firing absolutely in the first half. Sorry, I think it was 24-12 at halftime if I remember correctly, and it was absolute manic from them. I didn't expect them, but they really wanted to put on a performance in New Zealand, which is not easy for any team in the competition, especially not in the Mines competition, and they did well because Hamilton, they've kind of turned that last season, the back end of last season, they turned FMG Stadium into a bit of a fortress.
Yeah, they definitely did. The fans of FMG Stadium Waikato were up and about there as well on the Monday, but the The Ravens had enough to come away with it. That was also the Thursday, my apologies. And now we're going to be moving on to the people who have moved up from the SRL Mines into the SRL itself, the rookie class discussion we're naming this segment. And we've sort of got 4 rookies to talk about, and I think, Riley, we're going to add in here the rookie Dally M for this round as well. But before we get there, we're just going to sort of talk about the rookies that sort of just stood out during this round. You know, Raika Manu scoring 2 tries there for the Eels on debut. All of these are debuts as well, matter of fact. And then moving on to the Knights against the Panthers, it was Miko Rashford scoring a hat-trick on debut. That's unheard of for a rookie. Even he is a winger, but those tries were coast to coast, and he pulled away from his defenders. Cody Earl getting 1 for the Eels as well. About a 30-metre ranged effort, and he had just solid moments. And also Kobe Kelly, 4 line breaks for the young winger coming in. But Riley, I think I might hand the rest of this segment over to you to talk about the rookie class Dally M.
Oh yeah, well, Eddie, I'm not sure if you actually have done yours yet. No, I'm the only one who's actually put up the Dally M for this week so far. But to explain it, it's just the Dally M's, except each week there's three people who will get points instead of like 3 people from each team, because it's obviously not that many in each team or like each game really.
Okay, now I get it. Sorry, I didn't understand when you made me do it before. I was like, what are you talking about?
No. So it's just 6 points to give out each week, 3, 2, and 1. And this week I've given 3 to Manu, 2 to Rashford, and 1 to Og. So each of us will be doing that as well. So expect expect a little cheeky little Dally M for the rookies at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we'll have the Rookie of the Season at the end of the year award. Lachlan Martin, the SRL Commissioner, has sort of handed that over to us to keep an eye on for this season, but it will definitely be presented on the awards night as well, as it was last season. And that, I reckon that was it for that segment. I'm just going to have a quick look. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. So we're going to be moving on to the best starting team of the week here on the podcast. And it's a very changed up team. There's new names in there here this week. And, well, the back line here, it's all over the place. Kaye, you want to go through the first 5?
Oh, yeah, just 1 second as I get it up. Yeah, we had a bit of a differing opinions going in this one, but I think the fullback had to go to the Stingrays. That was Lachlan Cox. He had an amazing game. And as we all know, Eddie, you love Cox. And we got Maliar Key, the winger from the Swarm last season. He had a terrific game. He went coast to coast as well. In the centres, we had Logan Seymour and Jerome Daly. And in the other wing, we had Angie Slugger.
Both players who are standing out for their sides there. Lachlan Cox at the back, he can run from anywhere. Maliar Key, and just as Kaye mentioned, just class. The centres, there wasn't much competition in the centres this week, so Kaye and myself had to really delve into the stats and just figure out who goes there. And then moving on to the halves, Trey Bonsakahu, Mike Borsons. Well, there's no surprise that Trey Bonsakahu was there after his kicking performance. And also Kaye mentioned scoring 12 or 14 points from memory in his game. And then Mike Borsons, we all know the kicking game that he has. Riley's played with him, kicking to the corners, and Riley's looking to carry that into season 6 of the Mines here.
Oh yeah, he is. It's a very good player, and I'm keen to see what he can come up with this season as well. And we're just gonna have to keep a close eye on him, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, he's looking the goods again here for the Blue Tongues. And then into the forwards, Harry Cheddar and Caleb Jeff. You know, Harry Cheddar, Caleb Jeff, they're both class players. Harry Cheddar getting the lonely try. Well, getting a try for his team there for the Stingrays it was. But then also Caleb Jeff running over 150 meters for the prop forward. That was out of this world, and it was topping the charts of the round for the forwards. And then in that little number 9 position, Lockie Cashel, the deception out of dummy half that he has, and then also the ability just to get the forwards on the front foot. No surprise that he's there, but also, Riley, I think you're going to want to be talking about one of these second rowers in Rusty Shackelford.
Oh yeah, he's picked up where I left off, and he's already doing better than me. Because I only got 1 try in the whole season. He's gone 2 in his first game. But Yeah, he might have embarrassed me a little bit there, but I reckon he can carry my spot and do it well. Probably carry them to a premiership as well.
Big shoes to fill there. Rusty Shackelford. And then also the other second rower scoring 2 tries for the Melbourne Ravens was Eddie Devon. Love the Eddie name on here. And scoring 2 for him, and also the work ethic as well. So similar to Rusty Shackelford. They're both hot star second rowers of the SRL Mines competition at the moment. Then the number 13, the double man, Christian Boccia off the bench. What a player he was. We'll be seeing him very soon later on the podcast, but the ability that the man has, the instinct, the awareness of the footy field, where the ball is outstanding. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's just a naturally born just a player. He's got a good grasp of where he needs to be when he has his head up, and it's just impressive to see. He's moving into that lock position. We know how well he did at the back end of last season for the Hogs in that 6 jersey. But playing as a ball playing lock, it's a big call. I think that he'll be solid there, but he'll definitely be tested by some of the forwards, especially those that like to put big hits on.
Definitely there. And moving on here, we're going to be talking about the ladder predictions of the season for all 3 of us. And I've got them in order on the segment schedule. So, okay, you're going to be up again here, mate. But just all 3 of us have gone through who we think by the end of the season what the ladder is going to be looking like. So we'll start off with you here, Kaye.
Yeah, well, to start off with, I have the Melbourne Ravens as predictor number 1, and that's the least biased prediction available, obviously, because I've got no affiliation with Melbourne. I think that after that start, they were just really strong, and they were pretty strong throughout last season. Hopefully, they can not do a repeat and actually keep that strong form throughout the season, not just at the start. The Blue Tongues, I don't see them dropping off anytime soon, especially with Borton still at the club. That's huge. And obviously, there's some interesting bloke that's mentoring them at the moment as well. The Swarm, I had them at 3rd actually. I think Liam Rogers is going to do a good job mentoring there. Again, they've got 2 really good halves. They've got Michael McCluckey and Tyler Doonan, who are very strong, and obviously Kenny Ta'awa, who played in the centres last season, but now he's playing at fullback. He's got a maxed out speed, and he's just dangerous all around. So I think he'll do pretty good to lead them around. Where have I got 4th? I actually got the Stingrays at 4th. This is another big goal, I thought. Lachlan Cox. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that. Lachlan Cox, he's a player, and I know you're in love with him, Eddie, but jeez. And obviously other players like that. Lockie Cashel, that's another player, and Harry Cheddar. They were standouts for me. So they look pretty good going into the season. The Firehawks I had at 5th. They're missing Cyrus Marks, I think. And I think Firewood can get the job done, but they're definitely going to be missing. He needs to develop, and they're missing Cyrus. Even though I still don't think Cyrus has got max speed, but they miss him. He was a good fullback, but they got a good halves combination in Shemaine and Olin Winwell Skeed. They did exactly. They did absolutely nothing for him. Personally, I'd move Felix Winwell back to hooker, but that's just me.
Any day, you got it right. He's
Yeah,
too
you
good
got
not
it.
to have him at
You
hooker.
got it. They got it again. They got a strong forward pack, but if they don't move him down there, I just don't see them performing that well. And they've lost so many players. It's just ridiculous at this point. And then dead last, the Snicko Bros' favourite, interesting mentor again, Justin Monkey. I've actually got the Gunslingers, the teams that have the 2 vets. I think Mark Iron, he had a decent game, but overall he was pretty disappointing. He's a 65 rated fullback. He's been playing before I've even been in the comp. He just didn't perform at the level he should be. The reason that we couldn't have Corey Bell at fullback last season in the Mines was because he was too dangerous. It seems that we don't have that issue with Iron. Galaxy was disappointing at best. The halves were clueless. Charlie Butler didn't have, I don't know, anything steering him. He had no rudder. He had no rudder. There was no rudder to the ship. They need to fix that quickly, pretty much, is all I got to say.
There you go there from Will Kaye. And then Riley, moving on to yours. Your
Yeah, well,
top 6.
another unbiased pick here. I've got the Blue Tongues at number 1. We've got Borsons. We got Shackelford coming through as well. He's looking very good. We've got we've got a few good players in there too. They're just gonna tear up this season, I reckon. And then I got the Ravens at number 2. I think that they've got probably one of the better forward packs of the Mines. They got Buckley and Caleb, who are both just OP, to say the least. They're awesome. Um, they've also got gapping on his name. I'll come back to it later. Oh yeah, the
Nilsson
fullback
or
Flynn.
Devon?
Yeah, no, they got Flynn as well, who's been really good at fullback too. So I'm keen to see how they go. I reckon that they'll go good. I've got Stingrays at number 3. I reckon Eddie, your favorite Cox. I reckon he'll be able to steer them around pretty well. I rate him as a really good fullback, and I reckon that he's got a good team around him as well to get him to the finals and make that number 3 spot. And then after that, I've got the Gunslingers. I have a little bit more faith in them than you guys, I reckon, because I think that they've got all the pieces to the puzzle. They just need to put it together. Like they've got all these good players, Batchagalupi, Iron, um, and they just can't get it going for themselves. I reckon that they'll be able to pull it together soon though. And then I got Swarm. A little bit less faith in them. They've lost Caleb Jeff. They've lost a lot of good players.
Horne
Rakamani, yeah.
King,
Horne King. No, that's not a big
Maliaki.
loss. That's not a big loss. Casual, that's big. They've
Lockie Cash was
basically,
probably the biggest loss.
yeah, they've lost probably every single one of their
Who's
good
that?
players, I reckon. So it's sad to see. But the Firehawks, I've got them last. I just don't think they've got it. And while they don't have Felix Mosquito at hooker, I reckon it's just a waste.
No Cyrus, no play.
No
Yeah,
Cyrus.
exactly. There it is. And moving on to mine. I've got the Melbourne Ravens at the top there. Being the mentor, I know what the club's like, and I know how it's been built. I've been involved with that. And also, really, I've been really high on getting these boys upgrading the right things. I've been I've been in their DMs, just making sure Kaye would know. I want these boys to start their career off on the right foot like I was mentored by. And moving on here to the Bathurst Blue Tongues, I'm going to have them at second. They haven't seemed to have lost any class ever since the departure of Felix Wimmelskid off on a dev contract, Riley Murray. Those spots are sort of seem to be filled, and they're playing to how they were played last season. Hamilton Swarm, I'm going to put them in at third just because they're still warming up, and the Tiara brothers were looking really good. But they only really ignited themselves in the second half, and they put on those points. So I want to see them put in a full 80-minute performance. And the Pacifica Stingrays here at number 4. Well, it's Lachlan Cox. We love him here. I do especially, apparently, according to these two blokes. And he's really the enforcer. He's the strike weapon for them. And they've got just good defense in the middle. Lockie Cashel, he's a defensive weapon. Their wingers, they're doing the job. Their forwards are just breaking through the middle. Western Gunslingers, I didn't see much from them in their game. Didn't see enough for them to really knock on the door of the competition. They've got some good stars like Boccia Galippi, some individual brilliance plays, but I didn't really see them play as a team. And the Cairns Firehawks, surprising, but same with Riley. It's going to be at the bottom here for them. They've lost too much class. The off-season, they hasn't really helped out with them either. It's just gone down from there. And they're not really looking to trouble the rest of the other teams. Anyway, we're coming to sort of just that little point in the podcast where us three get a 40-second break and you guys get to watch some footage. Well, some amazing footage of this bloke right here. That's a good tackle there. Good stuff there from the number 9. 5th tackle, nonetheless. Galaxy in the pocket it goes. Butler, bomb here. That's on point. Who's on point as well? There's Lachlan Cox. And big shot. I'm losing my voice, and it's Boccia Galippi. Christian, take a bow to the right-hand side of the sticks. Look at the big shot. It was the man. On point, just beside the sticks. It's 5th now. Where's the class that they've been missing here? They're going right. It's the crossfield bomb. There's nobody underneath it. And it's Bochagalipi. He's going to get a double here for the Gunslingers. The all-reliable. He opened the scoring in the first half, and he's going to open the scoring for them in the second. What a section of tries there from Christian Bochagalipi. The two-peat man here, getting two meat pies there for the Gunslingers. One off of a big hit and then picking up the crumbs, and then the other chasing down a bomb there, taking it, putting it down on the spot. What a performance it was from this man, Christian Bochagalipi. None of us in commentary really surprised, were expecting that from him, but the only two tries there for the Gunslingers, Riley.
It's the whole game. It's really good to see from him in his second season with the Mines, and I reckon he's only going to get better, right?
Yeah, no,
Especially with
definitely.
more
Especially with starting as well. He only did that on 44 minutes. And
Yeah.
his running meters, he was breaking tackles and is really well. He's doing really well.
Yeah, no, he had a fantastic game. And I was criticising the Gunslingers before bringing up players that didn't perform, but Bochagalipi was a shining light. They need to use him correctly, and I think they'll maybe, well, hopefully they'll prove me wrong in the latter. But yeah, a ball playing lock, Bochagalipi, I think that's a good partnership.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm going to skip this last segment here, but I'll just quickly do it. The Go of the Week is going to be given to Christian Bochagalipi. Amazing class player. Congratulations to him. Well done. We'll probably try and get some images made for them in the future, but congratulations to your brother. Welcome to being a part of the Into the Mines podcast, and welcome to the SRL Mines as well. You only had a few games last season, and you're looking at home there at the Gunslingers, and now starting in that lock jersey. But before we end the podcast, we're going to be talking about the games that are coming into next week, the 3 games of round 2, and these are some massive clashes. But first game for round 2 is the Melbourne Ravens Pacifica Stingrays at home at Amy Park, Kaye.
Yeah, the Ravens, I think that's going to be a good game at Amy Park. The Stingrays will be looking to push forward in their campaign. The Ravens will be looking to put on another big score, and this time at home, I've got the Ravens taking this one. I'm going to put the score as 24-6. Actually, I reckon it'll be a bit of a blowover.
Riley?
Oh man, that's not easy, but I've got to back my feeder team, so I'll just go Ravens.
There it is, Melbourne Ravens, and I'll go with that myself. I believe they'll take it away there. Game 2 on the Thursday evening is the Western Gunslingers up against the Bathurst Blue Tongues. That's an interesting contest there. The Gunslingers fresh into the competition, not really gelling. But if Mark Lee, my apologies, their fullback, if he can get something going, I reckon he could tear them apart. But your thoughts on who's going to take it away there, Riley?
Blue Tongues, any day. I got to back my boys. Borson's will lead them around the park. Got faith in them. Great players out there.
You know, my apologies there. Mark Iron it was. If he can get going, I hope that he can take it away, because he's such a dangerous player. As Kaye said, 65 overall. He should be blowing teams off the park with his pace, with his acceleration, his agility. Just not really being able to do that in the first game. Could have gotten cold feet. And I'll take the Blue Tongues with that one as well. Kaye?
Oh, yeah, easy Blue Tongues.
Blue Tongues there. And now for the final game. This is a mixed bag. Cairns Firehawks, Hamilton Swarm. Well, they only scored 1 try, the Cairns Firehawks, and that was off of a grubber kick to Jasper Farwood. So I'm really pushing towards the Swarm because I just saw more from them in that game against the Ravens. They scored more points, and they just had more plays clicking. And, you know, Kaye, honestly, I reckon that's what's going to just seal the deal and get Hamilton the win.
I'm actually going to go the other way in this one. As much as I do like Hamilton, I think that there's just going to be too much pace for them to handle, especially through the middle. They've got experienced players, obviously, in Justice Daly, Lincoln Riggle. I can't say his first name, but Segarini. And Keller, obviously, is a lock. Not the quickest bunch. I know I said the pace to the middle, but like with their halves, if those halves click well, and hopefully they do, I think that the Swarm are going to be in for a bit of trouble. Stramaine and Ollie and Windmill Skeet, if they put in a masterclass, keep kicking out to Marley Arkey, I think it's gonna be easy.
Riley?
It's hard because I want to back the Blue Tongues boys, but also I just don't think that they're in the right positions. Um, yeah, I'll back the OG Blue Tongues that are carrying the Firehawks at the moment. Hopefully, Felix Mimoskeet and Dom can kind of get it going for them.
Yeah, definitely there. Well, that is going to conclude this first episode of the Into the Mines podcast, Season 6, Round 1, Episode 1 it is. Oh, thank you guys for joining me.
Hang on, Eddie. Hang on, Eddie.
What am I missing? What am I missing?
Kaye's got a surprise section.
I got
for
a
us.
message this morning
Oh, here we go.
from Lachlan Martin. He wasn't very happy with some of the commentating over the week, and I'll just
Okay,
let
no.
you
Here's
and the
some
audience listen to this.
commentating segments made up by your one and truly. Will Kaye. Enjoy this.
No, this was you two boys, but here we go.
You're the one that made it.
Eddie, I know that you're a big fan of Cox, and
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it going.
That's a great one.
whoever said
And
that
here's
should
another
be
one.
banned.
Here's another one.
Love it when I have to scream the top of my lungs to the point when I lose my voice. When players do that to me.
Yeah, so there's some interesting ones there from you two there in the Stingrays Slingers game. I have been issued with the please explain. I've gotten you off, Riley. Don't worry. You're right on my team. Obviously, I'll take care of you. However, Eddie, that's an Eels problem, mate. That's not me.
Well, I'll be sure to run that one by Luke Short earlier in the week, actually. But thank you very much, Kaye. And, well, that is going to be us on the Into the Mines podcast this week. Well, what a podcast it was. Thank you very much to the boys for putting in the work, getting it all sorted and up and running again for Season 6. Don't forget, tomorrow, well, what a game we'll have on our hands. It's going to be... Let me just pull up who it is. Tomorrow it's going to be the... Hamilton Swarm and... No, it's not. Tomorrow it's going to be the Melbourne Ravens and Pacifica Stingrays at Amy Park. Don't forget to tune in for that one. What a game it's going to be. I can't wait to see how those two teams perform. But until then, I'm Eddie Oliver, joined by Will Kaye and Riley Murray. And we'll be looking forward to see you guys next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Until then, thank you very much for watching.
Your